Or is this full-time MMA now?
I love full-time MMA right now.
Back to the daily grind, and shout out to the full-time patrons. Make sure to hit subscribe if you're new and hit thumbs up if you're not a baby back bagel biting bitch boy, cause you know what time it is. It's full-time
MMA.
And congratulations to Ilima-Lei Macfarlane, who was able to remain undefeated and remain champion at Bellator 201 in the main event, where she successfully defended her female flyweight title against Alejandra Lara. Alejandra Lara came in a young, experienced fighter. She was 7-1 at only 23 years old, and she had finished 6 of her 7 wins. But she was going against the very talented and skilled in jiu-jitsu Ilima-Lei Macfarlane and Bellator's female flyweight champion. Ilima-Lei Macfarlane, that was pretty much the story of this fight as well. She was showcasing like beautiful jiu-jitsu in the first, second, and third round. She was putting Alejandra Lara, who skilled herself in jiu-jitsu. She has 3 wins by submission, and she was also defending all of Ilima-Lei Macfarlane's submission attempts very well. She was double jointed, so she wasn't tapping to anything in the last round, which is where the submission came. Ilima-Lei Macfarlane had a deep armbar in for a while, and Alejandra Lara was able to defend it for almost a full minute. And the armbar was in, but Alejandra Lara was doing her best until she couldn't anymore. She was eventually forced to tap in the 3rd round, but she was able to successfully defend a lot of submission attempts in the 1st and 2nd round. So Ilima-Lei Macfarlane, she had top control for a lot of the 1st and 2nd round. I felt like she won both of the rounds. Even though she wasn't able to get the submission attempt, she was definitely threatening Alejandra Lara with a lot of her submission attempts, and also she had top control. So going into the 3rd round, she actually earned the submission, so there was no need to even leave it to the judges, nothing like that. And now with that being said, on the microphone, she agreed. She said, yeah, I definitely think Valerie Leitrenault deserves the next title fight. Valerie Leitrenault also fought tonight at Bellator 201 against Christina Williams. She won the fight via unanimous decision. It was a thrilling fight, really fun fight. 3 knockdowns in the 1st round of Leitrenault versus Williams. That was actually a great fight. And Valerie Leitrenault with a win, she looks like she may have earned herself a title shot against Ilima-Lei Macfarlane, who was 8-0. Valerie Leitrenault's coming over from the UFC. She's been wanting to fight in the flyweight division. It wasn't there. Now that she's in Bellator, she's at home in her flyweight division, and she's 2-0. Now with that being said, she's going to be taking on the 8-0 Ilima-Lei Macfarlane. And so this is going to be a great test for Ilima-Lei Macfarlane, because Valerie Leitrenault has fought for a UFC strawweight title against Joanna Jędrzejczyk. It didn't go her way, but a lot of fights in the strawweight division didn't go her way because that wasn't really her weight class. She had bad weight cuts, so she was drained a lot of the times in her fights, you could imagine. But now she's at 125, and she looked good versus a very game Christina Williams. So we got another flyweight title fight on our hands sometime in the future. When, where, we're not sure yet. The fights just happened tonight. But Ilima-Lei Macfarlane did say, hey, I got one request. Can we get a Bellator Hawaii? And I'll say one thing. If Bellator goes to Hawaii before the UFC, after the champion Max Holloway's been trying to go to Hawaii, you've had hella UFC fighters, Hawaiian fighters, talented fighters doing, succeeding in the UFC. They've got plenty of Hawaiian talent. So as far as why the UFC hasn't went to Bellator yet, that's for the UFC to explain. But I will say, if Bellator goes to Hawaii for Ilima-Lei Macfarlane versus Valerie Leitrenault before the UFC goes to Hawaii for Max Holloway, the UFC got some explaining to do. But with that being said, it is what it is. Let the full-time family know what you think in the comments. And before we go, shout out to all the full-time MMA white belts that have hit the subscribe button. Make sure you also hit the notification bell right next to it so you're notified every time I upload a video. And if you want to become a full-time MMA blue belt, purple belt, brown belt, or black belt, all you have to do is go to patreon.com/fulltimemma. I'm out.
Bye, Felicia.